I think you should explain why we haven't gotten to do one of these in a while.
Oh, hurricane.
Hurricane, and then I think I was
Hurricane
gone, or
data.
yeah, between our two schedules, we were having some trouble. But I kept promising everybody, hey, we're not fighting. We're not
coming
like
back.
at odds. We just can't connect. So, yeah.
And then
So here we are, everybody. We did make it back.
last week I was ready, but you had a project you was working on.
Yeah, I was redoing my floors, and I thought, okay, a 3-day project. Rip carpet out, put new tiles in, grout, done. You know, a day for each. Yeah, it's 6 days later, and a lot of colorful language, and my finger still hurts from all of the, oh my gosh, my hands were cramping. I have blisters from running the little trowel, the little grouting, or not the grouting, the mud trowel thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
I've
what
been
an
done that.
education now. And my floor is done. So
Looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Looks very
it
nice.
makes it sound like you were at my house, but I sent him pictures.
Yeah, I saw the pictures.
Like, it was beautiful. So yeah, so that's done, and now I can say I did it. And yeah.
Now you can do the whole house.
Yeah, and famous saying, one and done. So yeah, so if anybody would like to donate towards the floors for the rest of the house so I can hire someone to do it, that would be great.
Go start a GoFundMe page.
GoFundMe so I can pay someone to do my floors, and that way I can be here for videos. It works out. It's a win for everyone. Right?
That's right. You might get some volunteers.
Maybe, yeah. There we go. Whatever it takes. But yeah, it's nice to have new floors. The carpet was 20 years old, so it's time to go. Get it out. So, yeah.
Yeah. Time to go. It looks nice. It looks very good. The way you have it all set up. I don't know if that was the furniture that you had in it before, but the way you have it all laid out is very nice.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
looks good.
Looks project. Let me tell you. If you ever want to do some soul searching, learn about yourself, put in a floor.
Roll up those sleeves. Put down some floors.
I don't know if my fingernails will ever come clean. I seriously am still, they're still like just beat up. So.
Yeah. I put down marble floors, so I feel your pain.
Yeah. Yep.
My SUV went from like this to like that.
Yeah, that stuff's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I sent the kids to go. I ordered all the supplies online with Home Depot. There's a little plug for Home Depot, right? And then I sent them after it in 2 cars, thinking, that should disperse the weight, not realizing how heavy all that stuff was. And one of the cars, they came back and like the tires they had to go put air in tires because it was just squishing it down so bad. It's like, I shouldn't have drove it like that. We should have made trips. And they're like, we didn't want to go back. So, yeah. But hey, it's done, and it's exciting that it's done. So now I can relax down there with tile. The tile looks like hardwood, so that's nice. It has that wood look, but
it does.
The durability of the tile.
It does. There's so much room for activities on that floor.
Oh, there, yeah. Right. I was contemplating racquetball court or family room.
Dance Nation.
Yeah. Clear out the furniture and get it grooving. So yeah.
So what else been going on?
People just go through a lot of change. So yeah. I think we talked about bringing that up tonight, seeing what we can find out about that.
Yes, that's one of the topics for tonight. Emotional stuff. Why are people struggling with emotional stuff?
Yeah.
So
I shared my story about how I met Daniel, how that all came about. That's on my Facebook page and my website if anybody's interested.
Yeah, that's the one you posted as a message on your board.
Yeah, a little blog message but it's on my website as well. If anyone's curious about the story behind Daniel. And that's actually the Arkansas trip that I speak of in there is how I met Jason. So
That's right. That's right. I
yeah.
was going to say, I had the privilege of being part of that in a way.
Yeah, we're all there. Yeah, nobody really knowing what was fully going on, but there was a lot of people that were affected by that energy. So definitely people out of our group. We had Dean, we had, oh gosh, name escaping me.
Sarah?
Sarah was in that group, yeah.
Sarah was in this. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's the second group, right? So.
Yeah. Anyway, there was a few people that did get some forms of activation while they were there, and slowly were contacting me over time when they were seeing the videos we were posting. They're like, hey, I had stuff happening when I left there too. So that was kind of interesting to find that out. I think there was about 50 of us in the class, and there's probably 5-6 people that came forward and said that they had some weird shifts going on too. So
if you could, if someone can't find that post that you have, can you give us a brief rundown of what it was?
Okay, so in August 2018, went to Arkansas for a level 2 QHHT training, and there was also a conference going on at the same time. So a lot of really high vibrational people. Did you go to the conference part?
No,
Yeah, so there were some people there that were speaking on UFOs, speaking on pyramids and different things. It was quite interesting to go to those things. And so went to the lectures, went to all of that beforehand, and then we had a day off, went to the Passion of Christ statue that's in Arkansas.
Oh, yeah. My mom loved that.
Yeah, there was some weird stuff that was going on there too, like weird energy going on there with the group of us that went up there. And then went through the class, and then of course Kaya was bringing in his Arcturian, and when he was doing that, I was going through a lot of physical stuff. I was sitting in the back of the classroom, and I'm just like twitching, and like all this energy was going through me, and I couldn't sit still, and so then when I got home,
as he was channeling,
yeah,
you was feeling all those.
Yeah, he was bringing his Arcturian through. So the demonstration that was going on, I think, was to show us what could happen in a session that could be more off planet, and so Kaya came in with his Arcturian. And if you guys haven't seen Kaya do that, Friday mornings, Julia and Kaya do a little live YouTube or Facebook thing. And I believe he brings the Arcturian in when he's
okay. That's good to know.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to watch him because he'll shift in and out of it, and so he does it a little differently than I do. But anyways, he was bringing in his Arcturian that kind of activated me a little bit. Then that night we had a campfire. Did you go to that?
No, it was a miscommunication.
Oh, bummer. Yeah.
Yes.
So we went to the campfire thing, and there was some more things that were happening there. And by the time I got home, I set up a trade with a friend of mine so that I could be like, okay, I'm level 2 now, I want to try that. So I was doing that with her, and then she was doing a session on me. But as soon as I tipped my chair back to go into the hypnosis, all of a sudden I'm just like, here comes this voice, and it's blah 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 blah, and Daniel was just talking, and he was talking fast, and she was just not having it. She was like, this is weird, what's happening? But she did a great job. She talked to him and got a lot of information, but we didn't record it. That was my only bummer part, is it didn't get recorded. But anyways, that was the first time Daniel showed up, and I was just like, I was buzzing after that, and I was just like, what was that? That was awesome. So after that, then it was a little week or so later, I did another channel with another friend, and it came through again, and it was, all these, when it first started for me, it was like I'd get these little tinglies up at the top of my head, and then I have this kind of weird out of body feeling, and then I could feel that they were coming in on the right side. And that's, if you guys watch, I will turn to the right when I say I'll go get Daniel. I turn to the right, and that's why I do that. They come in on the right side. And I say they because it is a collective. It is a group. So Daniel's the one that usually speaks, and then the Imperials will come and go also. So that's when you hear my voice change. And then, so anyways, after that, another person was telling me they were having this horrible day. Everything was crashing down. I said, give me 10 minutes on the phone. Let's see if we can shift it. So we get on the phone. I'm just doing some of my other bags of tricks, you know, and talking to her. And all of a sudden I'm like, it's weird. I feel like that Arcturian wants to come in. She's like, well, give it a try. So we bring that in, and that's the very first Ascension session happened there. And she went through this whole journey, and Daniel took her through. She went into a fairy forest. She went into a healing circle. She had all these beautiful little beings around her, and the little nature animals, sprites, fairies, unicorns, dragons. I mean, all of it showed up.
The whole shebang.
The whole shebang. Even wizards were there. And went through all this stuff, took her through all these things, talked to her about all kinds of things that were going on. She was singing her light language. Her language would come through music. And so she started doing that. But we get out of that session and she was like, what was that? What do you call that? And I said, I don't know. I've never done that before. That was amazing. So we sat there for a little bit kind of talking about it. And she's actually the one that came up with the name, the Ascension Activation Sessions. And that's how that all got started. So, and in my story online, I do talk about how each one is individual and different. I never know. Just like when I close my eyes in these, I just don't know what they're going to say. I could project that I think I know what they're going to say. And I think we both have seen that before, where we've had conversations ahead of time and then something completely different will come out. And, right. You know, so I just don't know what they're going to say, which is perfect because I question things all the time. Am I making this up? What is, you know, what's going on? Am I just wanting this? So I created it or what? And there was one time where I actually was trying to say something different than what was coming out of my mouth. And so that was very convincing. But again, I get confirmation. I'll say things that there's just no way, or I'll be thinking something and seeing it so clear in my head, and then the client will say it and describe it exactly the way I'm seeing it. And it's like, okay, there's got to be something going on here. So I've definitely had a lot of demonstration over the last couple of years that this is something, and it's, you know, I'm not creating it because it's not coming out of my mouth the way that I'm trying to make it come out, and or how I was thinking, you know, here's what my thoughts are on it, and then something completely different comes out when asked to Daniel. So so yeah, the sessions though, they'll take a path of their own depending on the person, and they've been quite extraordinary and fun.
Very interesting. Do you think Daniel has been trying to get through before that, or just once when at that moment that was the first time?
My guess is that Daniel was trying to get through before that, and my whole journey to getting to that class, you know, with knowing now that the result of that class was bringing this Daniel energy in, and I want to say, I think that energy was really activated prior to Kaya channeling. That whole week up there, all the people were significant in bringing in this vibration, this frequency, this energy. And then when Kaya brought in the channel, I think that kind of just anchored it in for me. But yeah, I think that they were a very strong force in getting me there. And
you're like, send her.
Yeah, we got to get her there no matter what. She's teetering because she's trying to figure out how to pay for it. She's teetering because she's trying to figure out how to get away for that many days. She's teetering. And so they just made it all happen. And, and so
out the door.
Yep. Yeah, they foot to the butt, get me out the door. So yeah, and you know, I look back on that and I think, man, if I would have missed that class, what would I be doing today? So it was a life changer. So very much.
You probably would be putting down more floors.
Probably would. And I was working for Oh no, I wasn't working for the real estate at that point, but I had been working for 8 or 9 years. I had been working for a real estate agent running his office. So definitely glad that I went to the class. I'll just say that.
Absolutely.
This work is way more interesting, and yeah.
I know. More fun, right?
Yeah, it's extraordinary.
Less stress.
It shows me the magic is real. Less stress, yeah. So, yeah.
Well, speaking of Daniel, are you ready to go see if he has anything?
Yeah, let's go get Daniel. I noticed that one of my dogs is barking at the door, but hopefully my kids are figuring that out because they're supposed to be keeping that from happening. So let's go get Daniel, and we will see what he's going to bring in today.
He should be well rested.
Yeah, he hasn't had the workout lately. It's interesting. I'm seeing the tree of life, and I'm hearing the as above, so below. So I'm just trying to figure out what is all of that. But I'm seeing the tree of life as it's below, the root system below, and then also up above.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So we are here, and it is about time. That is what we will say. It is about time we get to do this again. But everything is in order, isn't it? And there are reasons why things were not connecting when in a timely manner to get us here any sooner. It is important that timing is perfect, right? That everything is flowing. And so many of you have been through so many challenges, so many upheavals, so many shifts and changes, and the energy is so fantastic right now. But at the same time, it is pulling it all up for you, isn't it? It is pulling it all up. And yes, we do know that we are speaking about why is everyone so emotional right now, and maybe not everyone. We shouldn't put you all in one basket, but there's a lot of emotions coming up right now because we are doing the big push into this beautiful energy. And if you could just imagine that you are walking up to this beautiful ray of light and you are just about to pierce through it and go to the other side. And that is what is about to happen. There's energy coming in, frequencies coming in, pulsing even. They're pulsing. And what that is doing is that is taking all of those little bits that haven't been purged yet, and it is bringing it to surface. And the astrology of it, the frequencies of it, the dynamics of it all around the world are designed to help bring us to a place where that last and final purge of energy is happening. That last and final push away of the relationships that aren't working anymore, that last and final thing that needs to happen so that you can move into this new frequency that will be entering into your world. Well, it's already starting to enter into the world, but you're really going to feel the shift of it when everything comes together in the third week of the month. And so as you guys are all preparing, as many of you are, to celebrate the solstice, to celebrate winter, to bring in the new age of Aquarius, to bring in all this abundance that is about to happen, the shift in how one might think or function in the world is about to begin. And so old thought patterns, old belief systems, old injuries, wounds, the wounded heart, they need to heal. So the things that are being mirrored to you right now, the things that are coming in right now, are the areas where you weren't feeling supported before, the areas where you maybe were holding a grudge or a broken heart, or feeling pressure in some way, or overburdened, and whatever. It is being mirrored to you now so that you can release it and let it go. And so as it comes up for you, be joyful that it is showing up so that you have the opportunity to work through it, move through it, and move on, because there's something very magical and dynamic waiting for you on the other side of that beautiful bubble of light as you walk through. And imagine it like a dome of energy. And you're on the outside of that dome right now. And the only way to get through to the inside of it is to release all of that fear-based energy. It's time to be done with it. Everybody talks about, when is 5D here? When is 5D here? It is here, it is here, it is here. You are entering into this beautiful age. And as you keep holding that frequency for longer and longer periods of time, you get to enjoy this energy. You get to enjoy moving into these dynamic ways of being. Now, will the world around you reflect it to you as the fifth dimension? Maybe not right away. Your filters are still fading out. And what we mean by that is your projections, the way you receive the world, your belief systems. As you are still believing that chaos is going on in the world, you are still going to experience that. If you are still believing that there is global warming, you're still going to be experiencing that. You're going to still be experiencing things in your reality as you need to continue moving forward. But as you are now experiencing more of the fifth dimension, as you are getting that frequency for longer and longer periods of time, you'll start to notice that the memory of those other things are fading out. The memories of a lot of things are fading out. Childhood memories might be fading out. Names of people that you've known all your life and all of a sudden you are not able to think of them are fading out. And you are noticing that your focus is not so much on yesterday as much as it is on tomorrow. What is coming, what is coming, what is coming, not what happened back there and what happened over there, and holding the grudge and holding the disappointments or the hurts and pains and fears, but moving forward and much more easily shedding that which isn't conducive to you holding the fifth dimensional frequency. So as you are experiencing these emotions, we congratulate you. Doesn't that sound funny? But we do. We congratulate you. We know it is not easy. We know that you are some of you, and Tracie is giggling in her head because as things were happening with that floor, she could have mirrored a small child having a tantrum. She admits it, as a tile would break the wrong way and she would have to go recut it, remeasure it, redo it, whatever it might be. If she was trying to get those finishing touches on and her back was aching and her arms were sore and everything was going on, she was having her little tantrums. But yet what a wonderful way for all of these things to start coming up. The areas where she didn't feel supported, the areas where she was feeling frustrated and alone, were all coming up. And in the end, she realized what was happening, and she was like, this is here to be healed. This is showing up to be healed. This is stuff from the past. And the results of it were a beautiful floor in the end, wasn't it? And so it was quite the project to push her into she said it was her boot camp of moving through the energy. It was her drill sergeant waking her up at 4 in the morning to run 10 miles, yes? And so she's putting these tiles down and her mind is wheeling on different things and moving through and processing. And it gave her the opportunity to do that. And so what we want to say to you is, when your emotions are coming up, when your things are coming up, when you're hearing, feeling, experiencing things that are painful or reflective of things from the past, be joyful, because it means it's showing up so that you can look at it, you can heal it, you can release it, you can acknowledge that this is not the pattern you want anymore, that it's time to release it. It's here so that you can say goodbye. It's here so that you can release that version of yourself that used to believe and feel and think that way. And then you get the choice. You get the choice to make it a different outcome. How are you going to react to it? Are you going to come from love? Are you still going to resent this situation, this person, this thing? Or are you going to bless it, love it, see it for the value that it held, and bringing you the love and the lesson and pushing you into a direction that got you even further along than you would have been without it, and start to acknowledge where it served you, where it helped you, where it brought you to be a better person? Because if you're watching this video right now, you are a good person. You want to change the world. You want to change things about how people are experiencing the world. You want it to be a good place. And would you have made it here without those other experiences? And your trips, what do we want to say? Your journeys, each and every one of you have been through many experiences, many ups and downs, and maybe abuse and other things that have gotten you here. And we do not want to downplay that by any means. We do not want to take that experience and try to pretend it didn't happen. It did happen. And it did hold pain for you. And we want to help you through that. We want to help you through that just as much as you want help through it. So call us in as we surround you with love and the comfort and the joy of having us there with you as we reflect and we look even deeper. And then once we look deeper again. Because there's that age-old saying, hurt people hurt people. And so as you start to see that your abuser has been abused and their abuser had been abused, and this is a karmic pattern that is being repeated and repeated and repeated, and it stops with you. It stops with you, and you are that one person that can say no more, and you end it right there, and you can shower it with your love, with your prayers, with your forgiveness, and you can call it in as forgiven for everyone in the ancestral trail, everyone that's been affected, everyone can be forgiven at this moment. And call in all of those who would like to experience that forgiveness. Move them into your circle and move them into that forgiveness energy, move them into source, let it be transmuted, let them be released of that karma so that they are not repeating the cycle and coming back into lifetime after lifetime, going through the abuse or being the abuser. And so much can be freed from these experiences. As you are listening now, I know some of you are saying, I need to do that. And we're here to do it with you. We're here to help you. We're here to shine light on it. We're here to do our best to make it as easy as possible on you to move through it. Because you are loved, you are cherished, you are valuable. We see you, we hear you, and we feel you. And we know that you hold greatness within you. And when you find that greatness, you find that nugget, you express it, you expand it, you move it, you share that energy out into the collective, and it will touch millions of lives. And your experience of healing will help others to grab onto that energy in the collective, in the grid. They'll be able to find it. Those who desire to heal it as well, it'll come directly to them, as if you had sent it to them personally, and it'll start their healing process. And so for everyone that you know you touched with this healing and expressed the healing with, there are all those that you don't even know, all of those that are able to attach to the frequency of the healing that you are now admitting. You are very powerful. You are very necessary on this planet. You are very important. And we want you to understand that. Now, we feel like we've been yammering on, Jason. Is it that we can answer for you, or is there questions with that?
Sure. If we could circle back on a couple of things. I'm pretty sure people probably have some questions about this, but you said pushing us into this new energy, and you mentioned abundance. What kind of abundance? Can you give us more details about that?
Yes, and if each of you would go into your hearts with this, we want you to think about what it is that you would desire. What is abundance to you? Maybe some of you would enjoy the financial abundance, abundance of love, abundance of companionship, abundance of feeling safe and comforted and just being in a place of peace, abundance of peace. Whatever it is that you desire, you can create it. And the more that you step into that fifth dimensional frequency, the more you realize that you deserve to have those things. You deserve to have the love, the finances, the feeling safe and comfortable and at peace and non-confrontational, right? With these energies of static and noise and distraction that are going on right now, just letting that all drop away as you move through the bubble and is now feeling peaceful and calm and quiet. And maybe it's the sound of nature, and maybe it's the sound of someone you love talking, and maybe it's the sound of the coffee maker brewing. We don't know, but whatever it is that you love, that you would like more of, that you are striving for, that is what you would find in that abundance as you move forward. So, but we do want to stress to you also that if you are not in that space, you could create an abundance of sadness, you could create an abundance of frustration, you can create abundance of anything, really. So that is where it is always that reminder, think about the desire, not about the other stuff. And keep your mind focused on that which you would want to create versus that which is not resonating with you at this time.
Perfect, perfect. And the next question would be, you mentioned the fifth dimension, some memories will be fading out. Is there a reason for the memories to be fading out, like childhood memories?
Mm-hmm. You don't need them. It is not that everything will go away. We're not saying that you're going to have your memories wiped clean and you'll wake up in the morning going, who am I? No, that's not going to happen. You're going to know who you are. You're going to know your family. You're going to remember childhood. You're going to remember certain events just as you would. But there will be things that are, as you start letting go of old belief systems, let's say you went to Sunday school and you were taught a story that does not resonate. You'll be able to let that story go.
Mm.
You'll be able to let go of the story of abuse in some area. You'll be able to let go of these memories. You don't need them. They're not going where you're going. But if you have a memory of cuddling up on your mother or father's lap when you were little and watching cartoons on TV and having family night, you will have that memory because it's full of love. It's full of high frequencies. And so what we are saying is that it will fade out. The memories will fade out. The stuff that you don't need to keep will fade out. Just like Tracie is saying, just like when I get done with these channelings and 30 minutes later, I don't really remember what I said or what was said in the sessions. It is not necessary to hold on to it. The frequencies are there. The high vibration is there. And there is on the subconscious level the memory of the message. But does she need to remember everything that has been spoken? It does not need to happen that way. And so memories will be different. We don't want to say they will be gone. They will be different and they will be more treasured, actually. And they'll be thought of in fond and joyful ways. And it will be, you will be living more in the moment. You'll be living more for today and for what is going on right now. And it's not, we're not saying you're going to wake up and forget who your best friend was or your childhood friend or any of that. It's just you will not have access to so many details, traumatic experiences and things like that. You don't have to hold on to them. And so hopefully that helps. Does that clear it up for you?
Yes, yes, it does. The next question would be, and this is just pretty much a free for all question. It just deals with, is there any information about the fifth dimension that you would like to share that you feel like the collective needs to know about it or needs some kind of information about it?
We want to just look around and be clear with our audience to see what it is that they need to or would desire to know. There are so many of you being activated right now. Many of you have started to speak your star language, your soul language. Many of you are stepping into connecting with the beings that are there to work with you, much like we are here with Tracie. So many of you are waking up to that now, and it has been an extraordinary ride, hasn't it? And we are so glad that you are here with us. And we are so excited that you are holding this frequency with us. The fifth dimensional frequency, it is not We are not telling you that we are walking straight into the 5D or new earth reality. What we are saying is each and every one of you have done your work. You are doing your work. You've done your work. You are here right now because you are holding the faith and you are holding that truth in your minds and your hearts. And when you do that, you are raising the frequency for the planet. And you are raising the frequency for self. And your frequency for self, every time that you get faced with adversity and you can overcome that and move back into this space, you'll find it gets easier and easier and easier. And you'll find that when it is a difficult day, when you're hit left and right with bad news or something didn't go right or the car won't start or you went to get dinner and your plate fell to the floor, whatever it might be that just keeps pummeling you and pummeling you and pummeling you, and you can just go sit down and overcome it and work your way through it and bring yourself back into this space. Every time you do that, you hold that frequency longer and longer and longer. And every time you do that, you are in a household of people that ripples out. And you are rippling out into their reality, into their auric fields, and you are sharing that frequency and you are sharing that knowledge. Now, you go out and you share that frequency and knowledge with 2 or 3 people, and then they go out and 2 or 3 people, they share it with them, and so on and so on, and we get that nice little ripple effect. And maybe it is just little baby steps each time, just a little bit each time, just a little bit each time. But if you think about it, every day, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, pretty soon it becomes a lot. And pretty soon this person that you never thought would ask you a question like, how do you feel about aliens? Or how do you feel about angels or ETs? Or what's going on with the earth? And have you ever heard of this new earth thing? And all of a sudden your mind will be blown because this person that you never thought would ask a question is going to come up and ask you a question. And it is because of this ripple effect going out and this pulsing of this energy going out. And for each and every one of you that are believing and holding that frequency longer and longer and longer, it's going out. And you all know it. You've all experienced it. You know when you're in a 3rd dimensional frequency, and you know when you're in the 5th dimensional frequency. When you're lighthearted, having fun, enjoying, and staying out of that fear-based energy, and you're just being in the moment, and you're sharing with friends and family and enjoying it. And then maybe it's when you go to work or you go to the grocery store and you're having an experience and somebody's grumpy and they cut you off and things like that are happening, and you know you're in a 3rd dimensional experience. And that's happening on purpose. You're experiencing that 5th dimension, and then you might feel like you're being slapped in the face with that 3rd dimension, because the councils that are around you, the ones that are there helping you, they want you to see. Because when you move into that 5th dimensional frequency, you might not notice you're there, because it feels so natural, so easy, and so calm and so peaceful. And you are in it, and you don't even realize you're in it until you're out of it. And then you're like, no, 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 no. I want to go back over here. I want to go back over and experience this over here. And so then you're going to do whatever it takes to get back there, aren't you? You're going to be like, okay, what do I got to do? Meditate. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to meditate. And how many of you have done that? I got to meditate more. Got to meditate more. Well, maybe you do. But maybe you just need to say, okay, what is it that has triggered me back into this 3rd dimension? And maybe I need to sit with that. Oh, that made me feel pretty mad. That made me feel angry, hurt, sad, disappointed, left out. I don't feel like I matter to this person. This person made me feel sad. And oh, I remember last time I felt sad like that, I was a small child, and my grandfather said something like this to me, that I was too young and I couldn't go with everybody else, and that I had to stay behind, and that made me feel bad and sad and hurt and left out, and that poor little kid. And then all of a sudden you're healing that version, because now as an adult you understand why Grandpa said you were too little to go. You could have been hurt. You could have had something happen to you. You could have wandered off and who knows what. And so what we say is you heal that piece, and then you go deeper, and then you go deeper, and you go deeper until you find the core. And then you get to spring back over here, and you get to experience the 5th dimension. And it gets easier, and it gets easier, and it gets easier every time you do it, because you're getting very good at it. And you guys are all getting very, very good at it. And you're helping other people to become good at it and reflect and get into that space. And the more that you do it, the more you learn, the more you grow, the more you expand, the more you share, the more they learn, they grow, they expand and share. And it keeps happening, doesn't it? And then you get that weird person that you never thought would ever step foot into the spiritual community, come over and ask you a weird question. And you're so delighted and you can't wait to answer that question that takes you both down that rabbit hole. So, how was that for an answer?
I love it. I love it. Very good. Very nice. Is there any other topics you would like to discuss tonight?
We know a lot of you are experiencing, how do we even want to address this? We want to address this and we don't know how to address this because we want to be very neutral about it. But we know that a lot of you are highly sensitive to energy on the planet that is not conducive to the fifth dimensional frequency, not conducive to your good health. Rather, that is waves of energy coming from devices that were man-made. How about we say it like that?
Okay.
So those of you who are affected by it, you know exactly what we mean. And we want to offer assistance. We want you to call in the Andromedans. We want to help you deflect this energy. We want to help you to move through it. You are highly sensitive beings and you are here because you are highly sensitive beings, and we want you to know that you are going to be okay. We want you to know that your bodies are reacting to this energy. We are here to help you, but we need to be called in. So call us in. We are the Andromedan councils. There are many of us. We are all waiting and ready for you. We all want to come in. We all want to we want to create the shields that will help you. We want to move your bodies into a better place. We want to help you with the frequencies that are disruptive to your spiritual connections, to your own communications. And we know that they are being disrupted by these frequencies. And we want to say to you that it is because you are part of a collective, a group that is not everybody is going to experience this the same way. So the ones who are experiencing it, that are experiencing fatigue and feeling irritable and feeling moody at times when they are closer to these signals than when they are out in nature. You know who you are. We are here to help. We are here to help and create this barrier for you, to help you to shield from that energy. You just need to know to ask. You just need to know to ask. And that is what we are here to hope to share with you, and that you will share it with everyone you know that is affected by it. We are here to help. Let us bring that energy, that frequency, that barrier in for you to help deflect this energy so that you can be more grounded, you can be more at peace, you can be more connected to source energy. And we want to say that it might even be their goal to disrupt your connection, because your connection is ready for that next level. You're getting into a space where your crown chakras are ready to be ignited into another level of the third eye, another level of connection, another level of that which is expansive within you, that is bringing in the information for what it is that is to happen next in this collective of volunteers. And we want to help you open up to that. We want to help you bypass these other disruptive frequencies so that you may keep your connection, so you may get that download, so you may get that next right move to make. Yes. And so we are excited that we have the opportunity. We want to thank you, Jason, for asking if there was any other information that needed to come through, because this was very important. This is very important to come through. And for those of you who are resonating with this part of this session that is happening today, we want you to know that we're always right there with you. We're right there with you. You are our brothers and sisters. You are people that we love, and we cherish you, and we admire you, and we know you are struggling, and we know that you are in pain, and we know that you are suffering through things, and you are doing it for the greater good, and we are here to help. We are here to help. Please call on us. We want to come in and help end the distraction, the noise, the pain, the suffering. And so please, call us in. And with that, Jason, do you have any questions for us before we bring back Daniel?
No, other than you mentioned human devices, are you talking about like computers and iPhones or cell
All that
phones?
carries a frequency. And there are new devices that have been placed around the world that carry an even stronger frequency. And the frequencies are disruptive. They are creating waves of energy that disrupt the transmission of telepathy with connection to the guidance and the groups that this particular group of people are connecting to, because they are so affected by these frequencies that are coming out. So we do say that the ones that are affected by it, they know who they are. They know exactly what we are speaking of. And there's a lot of frequencies. Yes, the cell phones, they each carry their own frequency. The computers, the Wi-Fi's, all of it, they all carry frequencies. And so, yes, all of that and more. And there is even more. And
I understand. And you discuss how someone can protect themselves from it, or what they can do to not be so affected by it.
They need to create, well, that is why we are asking them to call us in. And again, it is the Andromedan group that wants to be called in, and we will help you to create the shielding you need. It is a frequency download that you will be asking for, and anyone right now can ask for it and ask for us to come in and help you create that barrier so that you are not, what this barrier does is it creates a different frequency to deflect the one that is disrupting so that you may still have your connection. And so call that in. Anyone can call it in. You don't have to go, oh, I don't know if I'm being affected by that. Yes, call it in. Everyone can call it in. And get that download, get that set within your auric field so that your auric field is becoming now a barrier for these energies so that they cannot penetrate and disrupt your signals and your receptors for your telepathy, for your communication with your higher councils. Did that make more sense when we said it that way?
Yes, yes, it did. Thank you very much. At this moment, I don't have any questions from the Andromeda unless there's anything else you would like to add.
We think we have said it all. We just wanted to make sure everyone knows that we are here for them if they would like to call on us. And so we'll bring you back to Daniel. And so what we want to do is we do thank that collective for coming through and for making that energy announcement, as there are many frequencies coming through this planet at this time. And with all the different electronic devices and satellites and different things that are transmitting and bouncing signals off of everything, it is a good idea. And so technology will just keep advancing, and we might as well learn how to maneuver with it, right? And to do what we need to do to stay on task, to move to the next level without being affected by the interruptions.
Nice. Well, with that being said, are you ready for tonight's topic or question?
We are always ready for any question you want. It is whether or not you are ready for our answer, and we don't know.
I gotcha.
What is your question?
Let's see. Let's talk about why are people having a hard time struggling with emotional stuff?
Well, their emotional stuff is each individual is such a precious thing, isn't it? And such a different experience. And as a collective, people are starting to unite more, becoming more sensitive, becoming more involved with that empathic piece of who they are. And as the empaths of the world start to open up, and that is everyone has this ability to be the empath. And as the veil gets thinner, you become more of the empath. And as the world is in pain, we've got a very divided groups of people right now. And everyone is upset about something, aren't they? They are all upset about something. And that's great. It's passionate and it's moving and it's rising up. And it's getting excited and passionate about things. But what we want you to know is that as the empath, you take on some of this energy. You take on the hurts, the pains, the angers, the violence, the fear, and that it intensifies. And what it does is it triggers anything within you. So Jason, if you, let's say when you were 25 years old, you had something happen that was really disappointing and really upset you. Maybe a friend betrayed you and it kind of broke your heart that this friend did this to you. And so you're struggling through it, but you know, eventually you just kind of buried it and you moved on. Well, now what's going to happen is there's still that little pin light inside of you that says that was painful, that hurt, that was painful, that hurt. I'm just going to sit here and be that reminder that that was painful and that hurt. And then this energy that's coming through right now, it is the collective energy. Your veil is thin, the collective energy comes in, and anything that resonates with that was painful, that hurt, now attaches to that pin light, and it becomes this big beacon. It becomes this big, enormous spotlight versus this little pin light. And now you cannot ignore it anymore. Now you're going to be facing it. The world is going to mirror it to you. It's going to become everything you see, everything you do, you're going to experience somebody doing something similar or hurting your feelings or betraying you in some way. And it's like, why does this keep happening? Everybody's being this way. And I trusted that person. And now this is happening and that's happening. And then all of a sudden it's going to dawn on you, wait a minute, this is like how I felt when I was 25, when so-and-so did that thing that I felt betrayed and hurt and that was painful. And then you'll be able to identify it and clear it. And so as your collective energy amplifies that which is inside of you that is not healed yet, that is why everybody is having such a hard time struggling through the emotion, because it's not just theirs anymore. Now it is the emotion of the collective. And now it is the collective that is healing. Does that make sense? The collective is saying, okay, I've got yours, I've got yours, I've got yours, and now I'm going to transmute all of that. And as that keeps getting transmuted, it keeps getting lighter and lighter and lighter. And again, the astrology is also going to support it. It is intensifying, intensifying, intensifying. The big full moon with an eclipse that says, let's do this, and crashes all of this together and says, now go work that out. And then it gets a little bit lighter and a little bit lighter. Yes, the astrology of it fades out and it gets easier and less intense, but also all the work of the collective, healing the collective, is also happening. And so each person on their individual journey healing that, and then also healing on the collective level. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, it does.
Wonderful. Anything else?
Do you have any advice for people to move through it that just find it that have a hard time with it?
What we might would want to do is maybe we could go into a prayer and end on that. Would that be a good thing to do?
Let's try it. Let's do it.
I like that. Let's try it. Let's try it. Okay. So for those of you who are in a position where you can close your eyes, we invite you to do that and just close your eyes and move yourself inward. This is all about you right now. This is all about you being connected to you, being connected to the heart, being connected to the mind, being connected to the sound of our voice as we come through, so that you can be connected to your guides, your counsels. You all have most beautiful counsels. Your counsels are working with you on so many levels. They want to work with you on physical, on energy, on spirit. All these levels of who you are now being worked on by these beautiful counsels, the white light healers, your mantis beings, for those of you who are resonating with that. Your Andromedans are here, the Palladians, the Arcturians. Everybody's got their councils, the Syrians, the Orion Council of Light, all of those from Sirius, the Lyrans are here. So many councils, it is countless. And let them in. Open your heart, let them in. Find the hurts and the pains, all the way from this lifetime, other lifetimes. Let it come up, let it rise up. The hurts, the pains, the betrayals, the sadness, the frustrations, the anger, the rage, the loss, the loneliness, the burdens. Feeling desperate, feeling guilty, feeling shame. All of it. Let them just move that up out of you. Let it detach from you. Deep breath and just let it out. Let it go. Let it go. Move it out. All those with the lower back pain, you're holding a lot of energy in those lower two chakras, your sacral, your root chakras. You're holding the pain. Let it go. You are supported. You are loved. You are valuable. You are beautiful. You are sensual. You are amazing. You do deserve to have love in your life. You do deserve to be nurtured and cared for and supported. And you do deserve to have everything you've ever wanted, because you are amazing, wonderful, kind, generous. Your heart is so big and so wonderful and so kind. The universe wants to deliver it to you. So release all of those old belief systems, all of those old learned behaviors, all of those experiences that were so painful in the past. Hand them over, let them fade away, fade away, fade away. We want to bring in a download of information, a download, new energy, the energy that is a version of yourself that feels loved and supported and valued and heard and appreciated, and everything else, confident, compassionate, loving, kind. Allow for the old version to drift away and bring in the new version of self. Bring it in, take it in, anchor it down. We're going into the power chakra, heart chakra, and they're going to do a dance. Feeling strong and loving and kind, strong, loving, kind. Your heart is clear, your heart is clear. You are empowered, you are worthy, you are valuable. The things you have to say, the things you do, the things that you are, the person that you are, your authentic true self, you are worthy. Let it be seen, let it be seen, let it be seen. Cast away all judgment, cast it away, cast away judgment on self and others. Cast away the judgment received by others. Those are just their own projections. Let them go. They are not personal to you. Nope, nope, nope. Not personal to you. Let it go. No longer hanging on to it. Some of you have it in your bodies like little fish hooks, and we know that's going to be a little bit painful to pull that out, but let's just pull that out. Healed fast, received. The love, the glory, the goodness of source energy is coming in to heal that and to relieve you of it. Isha Gurdabantabot, Sematushikatana Aisha Qua, the Bandu Shea Pona, Ekota Shedifund, the Bebonde, the Pishikotani Osha. Now we want to go to the throat, to the third eye. We want to include the ears and the crown chakra, and we just move this beautiful energy up and out. Release, release, release. Speak the words that want to be spoken. Speak your truth, speak your truth, speak your truth, speak your truth. Hear what it is that is being actually said to you when somebody is speaking sharp with their tongue. It is never about you. It is about their own hurts, their own pains being projected, their fears, their fear, not yours. Not yours to own, not yours to carry, not yours to take on as if it is yours. Don't do it, clear it away. A lot of you are clearing away a lot of stuff right now. That is not yours to carry, not yours to carry. Other people's criticism, it is all about them. It has nothing to do with you. Anda shebe andi shu ko don banjia. We are calling in your truth, high self, your royal self, your we are trying to find a word for this that would fit for something that you would resonate with in this reality. But it is something that would be high above even a priest or priestess, something that is far beyond, maybe more something in the angelic realm of things. Bring in that angelic realm of self. Bring in that aspect of your soul into the mind, into the heart, into the entire body. Embody that part of yourself that you came here to be. Embody that part of yourself that is ready to be activated right now. Be the best version of you that you can be, and we cannot say that enough. But so many of you have come in here to be beautiful markers of light in this world. And what we want to say to you is the vibration is so high right now. And you can feel it, we feel it as such a collective of you is so beautiful and so bright and so amazing and so huge and so magnificent and magical. And we just want you to be in that energy right now and feel the majesty of who you truly are. Feel the connection of who you truly are. You are dynamic, you are big, you are huge, you are the universe, you are beyond the universe. So bring that version of yourself in. Be big in this world. What else you got going on? Be big in this world. Go ahead, do it. That's what we say. One last little piece of light language. We want you to bring it into the heart. We want you to align it into a balance. We want you to bring in the balance of the masculine, feminine, the yin, the yang, the up, the down, the black, the white, the good, the bad, whatever you want to call it. Bring in balance. Bring in the shadow, bring in the light. Bring in that which is you all the way through. Se shanado